Yes. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Good afternoon, everyone. Big news for Manchester United fans this afternoon. A deal is all but finalized between Manchester United and Lazio. Andreas Pereira is on his way to Rome. That is where Lazio are based, in case anyone's wondering, so that he is there ready to complete his medical and make a move to Italy. It is a 12-month loan. A fee of around £3 million will be paid to Manchester United, and all of the players' £70,000 a week salary will be taken up by Lazio. There is an option to buy at the end. Now, it is not a compulsory purchase order. It will be an optional one for Lazio of 27 million euros, which they have agreed to. The bonus here is if they decide they want the player, they're signing an agreement to say they know they have to pay 27 million euros. That is a fantastic piece of business. It uses the loan system wonderfully. Andreas Pereira is not going to be a Manchester United player for the forthcoming season, and that is a reason to celebrate. Cannot be denied at all. Someone here saying, lol, 3 million. It's £3 million loan deal. Plus, if they want to sign him at the end, it's 27 million. That means we're getting 30. If we sell him at the end of this, it's 30 million euros for Andreas Pereira. That's more money than Liverpool just paid for Thiago. It's daylight robbery. How have Woodward and Manchester United pulled this off? I will never, ever know. We need to get this through quickly before somebody with a brain at Lazio understands what's going on and they pull the plug on this deal. It's an absolute madness. Article here on the People's Person, one of the biggest Man United websites, says Andreas Pereira heading for a medical as loan deal with Lazio is agreed. Multiple media outlets in the across Italy are saying that this is done, that this is over the line. It says here, he will complete a season-long loan with a 27 million euro option to buy, which will include a 5-year contract worth 2 million euros per annum. It's about £35,000 per week. Actually, a slight improvement. He's not on £70,000 a week. I mean, we misread that. He's on £30,000 a week at Man United. So this is going to be an excellent deal for everybody. He gets a pay rise. He moves to a beautiful country. Man United, in the end, after the loan fee and everything else, are going to end up with about 27 million quid. It's fantastic business for Manchester United Football Club. Skype plans are open. Make sure you call in. Smash the like button now, people. Big news. We're also covering a few other stories. Alex Telles update. Sancho update has been talked today. Sky Sports saying nothing's going to happen. But they sent a reporter to Dortmund Stadium anyway. Why? Why? If nothing's happening. And aside from that, Josh King to Tottenham is a story that's circulating this morning as well. Call the show. Give us your super chats about any other rumors that you have heard. We're 1 week away from the transfer window closing. It is heating up massively. We've got Kish back on the line with us. Kish is a Man United fan. What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, just Andreas Pereira deal. If this goes through, I think it's a brilliant deal. Ole came here, and as he said, a lot of players, they won't be wearing the shirt again. And if Pereira goes, I think he has a point to prove. I think he's 23, 24, and so young, going to Italy, going to Lazio, brilliant club. I mean, good enough club for his development and for him as a player as well. So if this guy eventually goes to Lazio, it will guarantee him more game time. And as I said, he has a point to prove himself, and if he ends up that Lazio next season ends up buying the guy, then, you have to say brilliant job to Ole, because he's definitely getting rid of some of these deadwoods. I wouldn't necessarily say Pereira himself is a deadwood, but he's not up to scratch for a club like Manchester United. And in regards to Jadon Sancho as well, 7 days left in the window, the news is heating up, and, no journalist has come out and say, the Sancho deal is dead. So I definitely think before deadline day, Manchester United will possibly get this deal over the line.
Listen, from my point of view on Jadon, first of all, on Pereira, if this happens, it isn't a good deal. It's the best piece of business that United have done post Fergie, and that includes what we bought to the club because brought to the club. Sorry, I feel like we are. I haven't really seen us finesse it. We've let better players go. We've let the likes of Danny Welbeck, Javier Hernandez, even the likes of Di Maria have left this club for what I would consider to be menial fees for players of their talent. To get nigh on £30 million out of Lazio for loan fees, salaries being paid, and then the potential buyout clause, the option to buy clause, sorry, it's absolutely tremendous. Remember, Thiago Silva just joined Liverpool for like 22, 23 million pounds. We just signed Donny van de Beek for 35 mil. To be able to get rid of Pereira for only a few £1 million less is absolutely brilliant. On Jadon Sancho, an update on that, which is interesting, is there's reports this afternoon that Matt Judge went to Dortmund for further conversations, direct conversations with Borussia Dortmund over the weekend. Now, there is fan theory. Well, say fan theory. The Manchester Evening News have put it out that happened. So it's an interesting one for me as to whether or not we see anything jump out of that. The Alex Telles deal, there was a few tweets that I was reading earlier that Manchester United are expected to complete the deal in the next day or so. That's picking up heat as well. And look, I know we all want it done sooner, but it hasn't been done. So we now move into the realms of, do these players improve our squad? And if Telles and Sancho come in, and if Pereira and Smalling leave, we end the summer with a much stronger squad, a much better squad, a more balanced squad than we started. And I think that is something to be massively positive about. Kish, thank you very much for coming on the show. Skype lines are open. Give us a call right now. If there are any other transfer rumors, anything else that you want to speak about, feel free to. Now on the show, we have Nadzi. Nadzi, what are you saying?
Yes, Terry, I'm a Manchester United fan.
Brilliant. Tell me what you think, bro.
Yeah, this Andreas Pereira, this deal that has been going on, I have got an update. Like, Lazio are now saying that they won't be able to pay his salary until and unless they sell their striker, their Colombian striker, Cansado. What do you think about that?
Well, this is fairly normal. I've said all along, I think the deal with Alex Telles is pretty much agreed by all parties. They're just not selling anybody because because Man United are trying to move on other players. And if we make it look like we're scrimping over a few £1 million, it makes people that are buying from us realize that we're not going to just yield. If we just drop all the money on these players willy-nilly, people are going to try and stripe us up for prices. There's a big domino effect going on here in this final week, and not just with Manchester United. One of the reasons I think Arsenal haven't gone in with any concrete offers for Jorginho, for Partey, for Osim Aouar is because they're trying to get rid of Guendouzi. And if someone come in today and went, there's £40 million for Guendouzi, you would almost see instantly one of those deals completed. And it's the same for Manchester United. But Pereira's on his way to Italy. He's gonna do a medical. He's going to do something informal with them there. And then it will be a knock-on effect. And sometimes you see deals fall through, not because clubs can't negotiate, but there's a piece of the jigsaw. No different to buying a house. You can get a chain of houses where there are 5 people in a chain. And all it takes is one person to fall out that chain in a wrong area, and it can have a knock-on effect. If the person at the top of the chain pulls out, it damages everybody. At the bottom of the chain, not so much. And Man United right now, we are looking like we are in the way am I going to say this? We look like we're in the middle of this chain, and we just need to hope that nobody behind us or in front of us falls through that can damage us, as an example. But it's there or thereabouts. Some of these deals are going to happen. I'm hoping the majority of them go through. But the Pereira deal, if it happens, is absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate your call. Next up, we've got how do I pronounce your name?
Achint.
Achint. There we go. Achint, who do you support, mate?
Yeah. I support Man United.
You're a Man United fan. Give me your thoughts on all the news surrounding us this morning. Matt Judge flying out to Dortmund, Pereira going to Lazio, the Telles still being hours, if not days away. Give me your views and opinions, mate.
Yeah, sure, Terry. I think the Pereira deal, I think the 27 million, I'm still really finding it hard to believe how we got Lazio to agree to that. I'm not sure if that is even true, but yeah, like if you can go by the sources, he's probably going to go to Lazio, and I think we really needed to shift him. We played him a lot last season, and he didn't really have that. He has some flair, he has technical ability, but his intelligence, game intelligence, is really lacking. He made a lot of wrong decisions, and that's why I think we did really push on with the Bruno signing in January. Regarding Telles, I think Telles we really need to sign. Telles we need to. I think before the Spurs match, we need Telles and Sancho, both of them in, so they can like gel in with the squad, because right now we can see that there is mentally we are suffering a little, because our squad is we are lacking game sharpness, because we haven't had a preseason, and we really saw it with the City match yesterday, that the City was like all over the place yesterday, and Leicester really took advantage of that. And if we don't get in the signings, and if we don't have that chemistry going, I think the Spurs match will not be like easy, obviously.
No, look, I'd love them both in for that game. I'm not too sure whether that is going to happen or not. But we will see before that game. Listen, mate, appreciate you coming on and having your say. Thank you as ever. Really good opinions. You can phone the show on Skype. Let's do some of your member comments here. Strip Bear says Kante isn't going to United. Yeah, that rumor, it keeps popping its head up. It's not one I believe, so we haven't really focused on it on the channel. DJ here says Matic went because he was not guaranteed a starting spot. Kante completely different. Lamps wants him to stay and knows the importance he has on the team. I would be so shocked. I would be so shocked if Lampard allowed Kante to join Manchester United. I really would. Paul here says, I'm glad Son won't be fit for the United game. Listen, I never celebrate anybody being injured, but if it's only a short-term injury and he's going to miss the Man United game, it's more of a relief than happiness for me. We've got Z on the show now. Z, Man United are getting rid of Pereira. Supposedly, Matt Judge was over in Dortmund at the weekend. Yep. Give me your opinions, my guy.
Mate, I love your show. You know how long I've been trying to get on your show for?
I appreciate that. Sorry, we don't always get around to answering every call. I appreciate it, Z. Thank you.
Mate, I think you probably got one of the best shows. I want to start by saying that. Probably the best show. And I think you've got a bright future ahead of you, definitely in this industry. I definitely think you should keep it up. Well, like I said, my thoughts on this, everything that's going on is amazing. I think the Sancho deal will happen. I'm hoping Telles happens, and I think we just go into the season stronger than we are right now. And the transfers going out is also a big thing.
Mate, it's huge, really. And I know a lot of United fans have sort of said that I know we all want it done sooner, but in the same breath as saying just pay the money, the opposite effect to just pay the money is just accept what anybody else offers you for a player. And you can't operate like that and at the same time want Man United to be a powerhouse in the transfer market. And that's the problem with a lot of Man United fans. We don't really know what we want is to be a powerhouse and to get things done quickly, which is the ultimate goal. But you don't go from being jokes in the transfer market like Man United to being a powerhouse that get deals done quickly in a year or two. It takes time. And a deal like this Pereira one, what we've done with Chris Smalling, I think it sends a message out. If we bring Sancho in for less than £108 million, that is a huge ripple effect across the market to say Man United are back when it comes to the way we do business. And by the way, we could get him for as little as £65 million up front, which is crazy when you consider what they've said. And one thing I say about the Sancho deal, one of Dortmund or Man United is going to look very foolish and very stupid come the 5th of October. And I know a lot of United fans want it to be Dortmund, but they're scared it's going to be us and we're going to be laughed at again. But one of us is going to look silly. It looks like United have put all their eggs in the basket of, we will wait to the final week. We will make a bid that we think will get it over the line and do it. Dortmund have said, no, we won't. We won't cave. And it's one of those things. You must have done this with your mates before, bro. Have you ever played a game where it's like, if I gave you £10,000, would you do? And then they say something extreme. It might be hit around and purse them in the face, go on do something, we won't get into the graphic detail of it. And most of the time people go, no, I wouldn't do that. But trust me, if the actual money was in front of you and you could smell it and see it, people's mindset changes.
Exactly. I just think with United fans, it's like right now, they look at the money and say, what, we're United, let's pay it. It's like, It's United fans are like that date that wants to go to the finest restaurant but hasn't got the finances to do it. When it's someone else paying for it, it's like, yeah, go ahead and pay for it. But you don't want to pay for it. You would have paid for it if it was your own money. You have to structure things well. If, for example, which I highly doubt, say, for example, we do pay the 65 up front, and then afterwards we get tellers, and then we're going for a centre-back, that prolonging the deal to get it at a smaller upfront fee allowed us to get funds for that centre-back. And a lot of people do not understand that.
Mate, you're absolutely right. And I've been frustrated with loads of elements this summer. And it's because you sit here and talk and you listen, and we're a live daily update on what's going on, and your opinions change. It's when you calm down, though. It's a bit like how United have started the season. I've been angry at the performances. But then when you sit there and you reflect, you're like, well, look at all the teams that played in Europe. PSG, Bayern Munich, Wolves, United City. They've all had very sketchy, very poor start to the season. People, but Bayern Munich won their first game 8-0. They did because they've got the best team. Well, I would say, but just behind Liverpool, the second best team in Europe. Some would say the best team. They've done a treble, but they still look sketchy, and it's going to be a delayed response. Some teams might start off with a couple of wins and then fade away because they get through the first couple of games on euphoria because of what they did. But we look at all the other teams that didn't have a proper preseason. They're struggling. But no one likes to focus. But as you say, no one likes to focus on the outside influences. It's just, we've been trash. I'm angry. Same as transfers. We're Man United. I want the transfers done quickly. We haven't done that. I'm just going to be angry. We had Rob Blanchett on the show. Go on, mate. Go on. Go on, mate. You speak.
That's the thing with what a lot of people don't take into consideration. I said to people, Pep was brought in to win the treble. I mean, to win, not the treble, my bad, sorry. He was brought in to win the Champions League, which he hasn't been able to do since he was at Barca. He never done it at Bayern, inheriting a squad which just won the treble, and he couldn't be successful in Europe. He's coming to Man City, spent over $1 billion, still unable to win the Champions League, and no one looks at him for that. Lampard, everyone says he promoted youth. Well done. He inherited a squad which finished third and won the Europa League, but everyone wants to say, you know what? He's promoted youth. Let's give him some time, and he's going to get it right. Gone in, spent 200 odd mil, and he hasn't picked the right system. Had that been Ollie, it's Ollie out. Ollie's not freestyle football. But this is what I want to question United fans. If you've been watching football the way people claim they have, when have United been known to play in this phenomenal football? I'm a United fan, but Arsenal have always played amazing football, much better football than us. We've always been fast counter-attacking football. We never played any phenomenal football where people could say, oh, that is mind-blowing. And we were winning. It's hard.
Yeah. Fergie's football was never seen as, and of course we did things in games that was beautiful. We had loads of great goals with great passing and great movement, but we were never renowned for that. We had technical ability, but we were never renowned for that. And I always remember when Fergie was retiring, I did an interview on a radio show, and I said that's what I would like to see a Klopp. At the time I said Klopp or a Pep come in and rejuvenate how we play and play a sort of more modern day style or a more attractive style. And that hasn't happened. I'm not, for me, the way we play under Ollie when it works, I'm more than happy with it. It doesn't bother me, if that makes sense. I think it's fine. Yeah, but as you say, fans that are not happy or don't really like, I said for a while now, a lot of Man United fans talk about our club like they're rivals. When I hear them speak, I can't tell the difference between them and a rival fan. They say they're speaking the truth. The problem is they never see anything positive, and that's a real big worry for me. Kevin here with a super chat says, I really hope these idiots, i.e. Woodward and Judge, know what they are doing with Dortmund, because if they F this scenario up, it will be a madness. But this is also true. This, for me, is almost the from a fan's point of view, if we pull off this summer and we get 2 or 3 more deadwood out and bring in quality and we improve overall, as much as I'm not happy with the board and as much as I'm not happy with the Glazers, it'll be 2 years of successful summers, successful signings. And I know that we still want the Glazers out because they hemorrhage money. However, if the board start doing a better job, I'll give credit where credit's due. And they're still in that position, and we do look like we're behaving better in the market. And the fact we're haggling over £3 or £4 million for Tellus, I love that, because we didn't do it before. We just said, yeah, there you go, Southampton, have £35-40 million for
and that's
Morgan
Schneiderlin.
Yeah, so go on.
That's the thing that Everett said. Everett said he likes the way Ollie's doing it. Ollie's actually he's not willing to pay the money out the way they used to pay the money out. He's really folding up the players like Fergie used to. Everyone wants to take that away from Evra's rant and look at all the other things and still want to say, even though he's doing everything he's meant to be.
Mate, you're right. That's it. And that's the bit on you put on Everett's true. He is moaning about the board. He is moaning about how things were going on, but he's also talking about the things that are now moving forward. That gets ignored because it isn't as sensational. We've added Dan to the line. Dan H, what you saying, mate?
Hey, mate. Yeah, I mean, I want to touch upon what you mentioned first thing this morning about, how United are going about the business now. And we've kind of just got onto that now as well. But I mean, I agree, if we keep doing the same thing that we've been doing over the last few seasons of shutting money and high salaries at players, we're just going to fall into the same trap. I mean, it's like the definition of insanity, isn't it? Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But at the same time, I think, the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? If at the end of the window, we get Sancho and we get Telles, and you look at it and you say, yeah, we've got Van der Beek, Telles and Sancho, hopefully for a decent price. But if at the end of it, we don't get Sancho, and, even if we get Telles, I still think you'd look at that and you'd be like, yeah, have we really improved? Because the squad's not looking great if we don't get Sancho. So I think it's a big week, isn't it? And I think that defines where we are actually going in terms of the board and stuff like that as well.
Totally agree. And this is why I want to reserve judgment until the end of things, because we have to not only see who comes in, but how these deals are structured. And like I said, football fans, there's a lot of Man United fans that right now, my expression for them is they're being rats. And what I mean by rats is the Pied Piper is playing a tune. This sort of, for years, it was United just bend over backwards and pay over the odds, pay the wrong salaries, buy the wrong people. They don't know how to negotiate, etc. We then start trying to do that. And what they say to us is, what, you're not getting deals done quickly. You're not getting deals done over the line fast enough. A lot of people say, oh, why do you keep doing personal terms before you agree things with the clubs? Well, that's how the world's gone. That's how it works. And although people say things like, Fergie did it different. Yeah, but Fergie used to be able to go, with most signings, you'd be able to go sit down with a player and their parents and discuss it and have that kind of chat. It's different now. Agents, intermediaries are involved. There's so many different elements now. The irony is this. Man United fans bemoan the fact that Fergie didn't want to talk with Mino Raiola, and that was a big breakdown in relationship, which led to Pogba leaving in the first place. That was starting at the change of the times with how football deals are done. And it's like, but now they're like, well, we want to do it how Fergie did. Well, you need to create a hybrid. You need elements of what Fergie did. Equally, you need to move into the modern day world. But the most important element I took out of what Patrice Evra said is that Woodward and Judge have trusted the wrong people over the last 7 years. So it isn't that they haven't tried to get the right work done. It's that they have trusted the wrong people, been given the wrong advice, and made bad mistakes. What I'm now seeing is a different approach, but yet no one has the patience to see whether the fruits of that labor will provide a ripe, juicy apple that we all love eating, or a rotten piece of fruit. And I just want us to have a bit more patience with it. And I get the frustration. We want to over the line quickly, etc. But I've done the factual analysis on this. Man United do not take any longer than Arsenal, Chelsea, or Tottenham when it comes to signing their marquee signing. And we only take on average 10 days more, 11 days more than City and Liverpool. But yet it's made out by the media that we take a long time and everybody else is quick. But yet,
because we sell the most papers.
Exactly. And this is what I'm saying to Man United fans. Stop being rats, stop listening to the Pied Piper, and stop behaving like a rival fan of Manchester United. Because you're almost embarrassing yourself, because when the facts of the matter come out, you look. Now, by the way, if we end up paying more for Sancho than we first went in for, and if we end up, not getting a good deal on Telles, and we end up not getting rid of 2 or 3 of these players at deadwood, then I will criticize the approach because we got it wrong. But until the end of it, Man City have a bottomless supply of money. Bottomless. They have trillionaire owners. They've got the best manager of the last 10 years as their coach. But yet it's taken them until 1 week before the deadline. And by the way, it hasn't been announced yet. So within 1 week of the deadline to actually land, by the way, the replacement for Company who left over a year ago. But yet Man United are the only club that get ridiculed for taking a while to make their signings. It's Man United are being ridiculed for trying to get 3 or 4 million shaved off the price of Telles. No one called Liverpool ridiculous for trying to get £3 or £4 million shaved off the price of Thiago. In fact, it got lauded as the best transfer deal in history.
Exactly. The funny thing is, what makes me laugh is the simple fact that when people look at United, we're always compared to Liverpool. Liverpool is taking them 30 years to win a league title. People start saying, oh, look at Arteta's reign. Arteta's reign is amazing right now. It's taken Arsenal, 16 years or 17 years, and they still haven't won it. They still haven't challenged. They've just had a good stint so far with Arteta. There's no patience within the United squad. We're 7 years deep. If we were to win the league this season, we've done better than Liverpool. We've done better than Arsenal. But people won't appreciate that. People who are saying they still want Oli out because they want to play attractive football. They say they want Poch in. All right, Poch done well with Spurs, but let's look at his final season. And let's look at the club. Let's look how long he's been out of a job and how many big clubs have actually got rid of their managers and have not offered him a job yet. So why is it only United?
Of course, bro. And do you know what would be interesting? There's a lot of rumours that he might go to City, Poch, because Pep will either quit this season or at the end of next season will go. That is going to be an interesting one. Let's just say we finish fourth this season. City come third. Pep leaves. Poch comes into City, not Manchester United. The people that want him in now will be outraged. I'll then sit back and go, oh, I'm a bit disappointed. But let's now see what he does at City. Because if Poch flops at City and doesn't win a trophy, then we were right not to go for him. Because supposedly the standards of Man United are win, and winning is all that matters. So that's the only issue I have with the Nagelsmanns and the Poches of this world. Their football's better than Ollie's, no doubt. But they haven't won anything yet. And
it's like the Leeds manager. The Leeds manager, everyone keeps saying his football's amazing, but he hasn't won anything.
Bro, he's also never been employed by one big club, and a man's 65 now. Like, there's something in that, bro. There's something in
This is what I mean. A lot of people want to say things and they're not thinking about what they're saying. They're just talking for the sake of talking to say this looks nice or this is what you want. But look at the stats. Look at the person's CV. Look at everything. For example, you go for a job interview. It's very rare that they're going to hire someone with an empty CV. But there's no doubt that person can do what another person can do. But it's not going to happen in the real world. So why do Man United fans believe that this is what we should do moving forward?
It's a short-term mentality, isn't it? That, a lot of fans have now. I mean, I remember when, Wolves first came up and doing really well, and United fans were calling for United to appoint Nuno as a manager. And it was like, because, he had like a few good months of playing five at the back. And, don't get me wrong, he's done really well. But it's just the way fans are now. They're just, they jump on the next best thing all the time. And, it's not always the way to go, is it?
And just to end the show with this, what will happen with these fans is the new manager comes in. I'm telling you now, if Pep was our manager and he lost 9 league games in a season and then got battered 5-2 at home by Leicester, they would call for his head. So this will just continually happen over and over and over and over again until fans learn that the world of football is changing. And Liverpool at the top of that, we were saying yesterday on the channel, you've almost got you've got the top one in Liverpool, and then you've got 8 other teams right now that are all brilliant or are all within the same level. And maybe, just maybe, we're about to enter an era of football where any one of 8 or 9 teams could win a league at the start of a season. And then what? I want us to go like when we used to win one, where we won 13 in 20 years. Well, maybe we're going to go into an era of football now where that's just not going to be possible. That means you have to reassess and re-level your expectations, because it's not just about how good Man United are. It's about what is everybody else doing. Man United could appoint the best available manager in the world right now, have the best players available right now, and still not become champions. But does that mean you just keep sacking until you get there? Because if Klopp and Liverpool are just that superior, it's hard. Like, these things for me, this is where like clubs have fallen down in the recent years. Oh, United are better than us. We're going to keep changing manager until we become as good as them. Maybe if you just stuck with the one manager and created something over a 4 or 5 year period, you'd have your peak. Because what I think you need to aim towards is forget Liverpool right now. Is you aim to get to your peak. And then when you reach your peak, then look who's around you. What you might find is what Liverpool are now experiencing. They've hit their peak while City have dipped. And it's benefiting them. And as it goes. But by the way, Man United might hit their peak in 18 months and win a league title with 85 points. Yeah, but Liverpool's peak team was better. Yeah, but Liverpool have now declined and they're rebuilding again, but they're only finishing the season on 78 points. So we're champions. This is how football goes. You know, Man United went through peaks and troughs. We had the treble-winning team that they won 2 league titles on the bounce. And then we had a year where we were slightly off of it. Then we won the league again. Then we had a 3-year period where we didn't come close really in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. And then bang, we won 3 on the bounce again. Well, imagine we'd have sacked Fergie in the 3 years before that. We may not. It's just stupid. I know Fergie had credit in the bank. Fergie had credit in the bank, and there's no doubt about that. But the 2 teams that are most successful right now in England are the ones that have had the best medium to long-term plans over the last decade, and that's Man City and that's Liverpool. Everybody, and by the way, like Spurs were on their way to that, and the Jose experiment, time will tell, going in a brand new direction. I've said all along, I think it will be the undoing of them in terms of winning Premier Leagues and Champions League. They might scrape a few League Cups or whatever, which is great, maybe for a club of their size. But Chelsea, Man United, and Arsenal need a model where it doesn't matter about the manager or the head coach. It should go in a certain direction, and everything around the club is a moving organism in that direction and operates to that model. And you change the head coach in and out. You change players in and out, but the system is the same. The approach is the same. The culture is the same, because that's how everyone who's winning right now in football's doing it. So why are you going to try and do something that's completely opposite? It's a madness to me. Boys, I appreciate you both coming on the show. Got to end the stream there. Smash the like button, hit the share button, and we'll see you all again very, very. Oh, before we go, actually, please make sure you subscribe to the Football Terrace Clips channel. Link for that is inside the description below. Take care. Goodbye. God bless.